Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. If you're a JRPG fan with a Nintendo Switch, you're in the right place because today we're counting down the top 20 best JRPGs you can play on the console in 2025. These games offer incredible stories, deep gameplay systems, and hundreds of hours of adventure. Let's jump right into it. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake brings one of the most beloved classic JRPGs back with a gorgeous visual overhaul that combines 2D pixel art characters with stunning 3D environments. You start by creating your hero and recruiting party members from different classes like warriors, mages, and thieves at Louisa's Tavern. Then set out on a quest to defeat the Demon Lord Baramos and follow in your father's footsteps. The turn-based combat is straightforward but strategic. You'll need to manage your party's MP carefully, exploit enemy weaknesses, and switch up your formation depending on the situation. The job system lets you change your party members' classes to create different combinations, and there's a day-night cycle that affects which NPCs and monsters you encounter. The remake adds voice acting and quality of life improvements like adjustable encounter rates while keeping the classic gameplay intact. You'll explore a massive world map, discover hidden villages, solve puzzles in dungeons, and collect mini-medals for rare rewards. The story touches on themes of legacy and living up to expectations without getting too dark, making it perfect for both newcomers to the series and longtime Dragon Quest fans who want to experience this classic adventure with modern presentation. The Lunar Remastered collection bundles two classic PlayStation JRPGs, Lunar's Silver Star Story and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, with updated visuals and improved performance. In Silver Star Story, you play as Alex, a young adventurer who idolizes Dragon Master Dyne and dreams of becoming a hero himself, eventually discovering he must save the world from the Magic Emperor's dark plans. The combat is turn-based with a range system where positioning matters. Melee fighters need to be close to enemies while mages can attack from the back row, and you'll need to manage your limited MP carefully since healing items are expensive. The game is known for its character-driven story with lots of dialogue and anime cutscenes that really bring the world to life. Eternal Blue continues the story generations later with new protagonist Hero and focuses on themes of environmental destruction and false gods. Both games feature dungeon exploration with visible enemies you can try to avoid, a magic system where spells get stronger as you use them, and boss battles that require actual strategy rather than just grinding levels. The collection includes all the bonus content from previous versions, and while the graphics are cleaned up, they maintain that nostalgic PS1 era charm that fans remember.
La 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 la.
Live Alive is a unique JRPG originally released on Super Famicom in 1996 and finally localized for the first time with this HD 2D remake. The game's structure is completely different from typical JRPGs. You can choose between 7 different scenarios set in different time periods, from prehistoric times to the distant future, each with its own protagonist, gameplay style, and story that seems unconnected at first. The combat system uses a grid-based battlefield where positioning and timing matter. Each attack has a charge time and area of effect, so you need to predict where enemies will move and plan your actions accordingly. Some scenarios focus on traditional combat and leveling up, while others emphasize stealth, learning techniques from opponents, or even have no battles at all. Each chapter takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete, and you can tackle them in any order you want. The prehistoric chapter has no dialogue and tells its story through actions and grunts. The Wild West chapter plays like a tactical preparation game where you set traps, and the Ninja chapter lets you choose between fighting your way through or sneaking past past everyone. After completing all scenarios, a final chapter unlocks that ties everything together in surprising ways. NieR Automata takes place in a post-apocalyptic future where humanity has fled to the moon and sends android soldiers to fight alien machines that have conquered Earth. You play as 2B, a combat android, and her partner 9S, a scanner model, as they battle through the ruins of human civilization while uncovering the truth about the war and what really happened to humanity. The gameplay blends hack-and-slash action combat with RPG progression and bullet hell-style shooter segments that happen seamlessly during exploration and boss fights. You can equip different weapon combinations like swords, spears, and combat bracers, each with unique movesets, and customize your abilities using plug-in chips that affect everything from your attack power to how your HUD displays information. The world is interconnected, with shortcut paths opening up as you progress, similar to Dark Souls, and you can ride animals to travel faster across the desert ruins and forest kingdoms. The game is structured around multiple playthroughs that show different perspectives and reveal new story information each time. Your second playthrough lets you play as 9S with hacking abilities that turn combat into a twin-stick shooter minigame when you hijack enemy machines. Pokémon Legends Arceus completely reimagines the traditional Pokémon formula by sending you back to the ancient Hisui region before Pokeballs and training were common, when people feared Pokémon and viewed them as dangerous creatures. You're a member of the Survey Corps, tasked with creating the region's first Pokédex by studying Pokémon behavior in the wild, catching species, and documenting how they use different moves in various situations. The gameplay shifts to open zone exploration, where Pokémon roam freely and you can catch them without entering battle by sneaking through grass and throwing balls directly, or you can trigger traditional turn-based battles if they spot you. The battle system uses a speed-based turn order where faster Pokemon or moves can give you multiple actions in a row, and you can use strong style or agile style variations of moves that trade power for speed or vice versa. Boss battles against rampaging noble Pokemon mix dodge-rolling action gameplay with traditional battles, creating intense fights where you throw bombs while avoiding attacks. You'll complete research tasks for each Pokemon, like catching multiple specimens, seeing them use specific moves, or catching them at different times of day to rank up your Survey Corps membership and unlock new areas. Fire Emblem Three Houses takes place in the continent of Fodlan, where you play as a mercenary who becomes a professor at the prestigious Officers Academy, and must choose to lead one of three houses representing different regions: the Black Eagles, Blue Lions, or Golden Deer. Each house has completely different students with unique personalities, abilities, and story perspectives that dramatically change your experience depending on which you choose. And after a time skip, the routes diverge into different stories, with former students becoming allies or enemies based on your choice. The gameplay combines turn-based tactical battles on grid maps with a calendar-based school life simulation where you teach students, build relationships through support conversations, and prepare for monthly story missions. Combat is classic Fire Emblem, with weapon durability and a triangle system where swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords. Plus, magic and physical bows that ignore terrain advantages. The class system lets students learn any skill or weapon type through tutoring, so you can customize your army however you want. Turn a mage into an armored knight, or make a noble into a wyvern rider if you train them in the right skills.
Try harder.
You never had a chance.
I can.
Trails from Zero is the fourth game in the interconnected Trail series and serves as a great entry point since it starts a new story arc in the city-state of Crossbell. You play as Lloyd Bannings, a rookie police detective who returns to his hometown and joins the Special Support Section, a newly formed department that handles odd jobs and cases the regular police won't take, alongside 3 other misfit officers trying to prove their worth to a city that doesn't take them seriously. The turn-based combat system uses orbments, devices that let you equip elemental quartz to customize each character's magic spells and stats, creating different combinations that unlock new abilities based on elemental values. Battles take place on a field where positioning matters, and the turn order shown on the side of the screen includes bonus effects like critical hits or healing that you'll want to manipulate using delay attacks and character abilities. You'll accept requests from citizens through a quest board, investigate crimes by examining scenes and talking to witnesses, and gradually uncover a conspiracy involving organized crime families, a mysterious cult, and political tension with neighboring empires that want to annex Crossbell. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time is an expanded version of the 3DS game with tons of new content and a story that continues beyond the original ending. You create a custom character and choose from 12 different life jobs like Paladin, Wizard, Blacksmith, Carpenter, Cook, or Angler, each with its own skill tree, challenges, and gameplay style that changes how you interact with the world. The game blends action RPG combat with life simulation elements where you can spend your time however you want, gathering materials, crafting equipment, completing job-specific challenges to rank up, or following the main story about mysterious dark voids appearing across the world. Combat is simple real-time action where you mash the attack button and use special skills, but the real depth comes from the crafting systems where you gather materials from mining, woodcutting, and fishing, then use them to create weapons, furniture, and items that you can sell or use yourself. You can switch between lives anytime to access different abilities, become a miner to gather ore, switch to blacksmith to forge it into weapons, then swap to paladin to use your new sword in combat. The Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster Collection brings back 2 legendary PlayStation JRPGs that are all about recruiting 108 Stars of Destiny, unique characters who join your cause and build up your headquarters from a small hideout into a thriving castle town. In the first game, you play as a young Imperial officer who becomes a rebel leader after discovering corruption within the Empire and must gather allies to fight against tyranny and warmongering nobles. The turn-based combat uses a 6-character party system where you can unite certain characters for powerful combination attacks if you discover their relationships, and large-scale battles play out in a rock-paper-scissors style war game where you command entire units. The real hook is the castle building. As you recruit more of the 108 characters, your base expands with new shops, mini-games, a blacksmith, an item storage system, and even a bathhouse, making your headquarters feel like a living place worth protecting. Suikoden 2 is considered one of the best JRPGs ever made, with a more personal story about childhood friends torn apart by war, political intrigue, and the cost of leadership. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition takes the series in a completely different direction with a focus on exploration, customization, and sci-fi survival on the alien planet Mira. Humanity's last survivors crash-landed on this mysterious world after Earth was destroyed in a war between alien races, and you play as a customizable blade operative helping to secure the area around New Los Angeles while searching for the missing lifehold core that contains humanity's stored consciousness. The combat system is real-time with auto attacks and cooldown-based arts that you activate manually, along with soul voices where teammates call out for specific attack types that trigger combo bonuses if you respond correctly. The game's massive selling point is the exploration of Mira's 5 enormous continents filled with dangerous creatures, hidden treasures, and stunning alien landscapes ranging from bioluminescent forests to floating rock formations. About 30 hours in, you unlock Skells, giant mechs you can pilot that completely transform exploration by letting you fly across the map and take on massive enemies that would be impossible on foot.
Target in sight. Shadow strike. Assault hammer. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Flame grenade!
Almost there. Need strength.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in a world where two nations, Kevis and Agnes, are locked in endless war, and soldiers from both sides only live for 10 years before their time runs out. You control 6 characters, 3 from each nation, who discover they can combine into powerful Ouroboros forms, and decide to break free from this cycle to find the truth about their world. The real-time combat has you controlling one character while your party members fight alongside you, and you can switch between different classes mid-battle to adapt to situations. Tanks draw aggro, healers keep everyone alive, and attackers deal damage from specific positions to trigger bonus effects. The Ouroboros transformation lets 2 characters fuse into a giant form with devastating attacks and its own skill tree. You'll explore massive, interconnected areas filled with side quests that flesh out the world and characters. And the chain attack system lets you string together huge combo sequences using all your party members for massive damage. The story deals with heavy themes about the meaning of life when your time is limited, the cost of war, and finding your own path instead of following orders. Monster Hunter Rise might not seem like a traditional JRPG, but it's got all the progression systems and gear customization you'd expect from the genre, wrapped in fast-paced action combat. You play as a hunter in Kamura Village, which is threatened by the Rampage, massive monster hordes that attack periodically, and you need to hunt various creatures to craft better weapons and armor. The combat is all about learning monster behavior patterns, exploiting their weaknesses, and using your chosen weapon type effectively. Each of the 14 weapon types plays completely differently, from the quick dual blades to the heavy-hitting greatsword or technical switch axe. The new wire bug mechanic lets you zip around the battlefield, perform aerial attacks, and each weapon has unique silk bind attacks that use wire bug charges for special moves. You'll spend time between hunts crafting armor sets that give you specific skills, upgrading weapons down branching paths, eating meals for temporary buffs, and taking on optional side quests. The Rampage battles are tower defense style missions where you set up installations and fight waves of monsters. Multiplayer lets you team up with up to 3 friends to take down massive elder dragons, but the game scales perfectly for solo play too. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is a remake of the beloved GameCube RPG that combines traditional turn-based combat with action commands and a hilarious story about Mario searching for the crystal stars. Princess Peach has been kidnapped again, but this time by an alien force, and Mario teams up with various partners like Goombella the Archaeologist and Koops the Cowardly Koopa to explore the town of Rogueport and the dangerous areas beyond. The combat system uses timed button presses to increase damage and reduce incoming attacks. You need to press A right when Mario's hammer connects or when an enemy attack lands to guard. Each battle takes place on a stage with an audience that reacts to your performance, and you can appeal to the crowd to restore star power used for special attacks. Your partners each have unique abilities both in combat and exploration. Koops can grab distant items with his shell, Vivian can hide you in shadows to avoid battles, and Admiral Bobbery can blow up cracked walls. The badge system lets you equip badges that modify Mario's stats and give him new abilities, but you have limited badge points, so you need to choose carefully. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma takes the series to a Japanese-inspired setting where you play as an earth dancer, someone who can communicate with nature and purify corrupted areas. You're sent to the land of Azuma to investigate why the sacred dance has been sealed away and why disasters are plaguing the region. The gameplay blends farming simulation with action RPG dungeon crawling. You'll plant and water crops, raise monsters you've befriended in dungeons, craft equipment and items, and build relationships with villagers. Combat is real-time action where you swing swords, cast magic, or use farm tools as weapons against monsters in dungeons. The farming isn't just a side activity. Growing crops gives you ingredients for cooking dishes that provide buffs, and you can tame monsters to help on your farm or fight alongside you in battle. The relationship system lets you befriend and eventually marry eligible characters by giving them gifts and completing their personal quests. Dungeons are filled with puzzles that often require using your farming tools in creative ways. Water dried plants, break rocks with your hammer, or cut down trees blocking paths. Octopath Traveler 2 follows 8 different protagonists across the continent of Solistia, each with their own story chapter and unique path action they can use in towns. Oswald can mug NPCs for items, Particio can buy items from anyone, and Throne can knock out townspeople to access blocked areas. You choose which character to start with and can recruit the others in any order, then experience their individual stories that eventually intertwine. The turn-based combat uses the break system, where enemies have shield points protecting them, and you need to attack with their weak weapon types or elements to break their defense, leaving them stunned for a turn where they take massive damage. The job system lets characters learn a secondary job to mix abilities, turn your merchant into a warrior, or make your hunter into a cleric for healing. Boost points accumulate each turn and can be spent to power up your next action up to 3 times, so you need to decide when to save them for a big attack or use them immediately. Each character has a latent power gauge that fills during combat and unleashes unique ultimate abilities. The day and night cycle changes which NPCs appear in towns and affects your path actions. Some characters can only use their abilities at specific times.
Prepare yourself. My blade sings. It's my turn. I'll cut you down.
YoRHa 8. Lacrimosa of Dana stars Adol Kristen, a red-haired adventurer whose ship gets attacked by a massive sea creature, leaving him stranded on the cursed Isle of Saren with other survivors. You need to explore the island, rescue other castaways, build up your base camp into a functioning village, and uncover why you're having mysterious dreams about a blue-haired girl named Dana from an ancient civilization. The combat is fast-paced action RPG where you can switch between 3 party members on the fly, each using using different attack types, slash, strike, and pierce, and you need to use the right character against enemies weak to their type. The flash guard and flash move systems reward perfect timing by letting you counter or dodge attacks for brief slow motion periods where you deal extra damage. As you rescue more castaways, your base camp grows with new facilities like a blacksmith for weapon upgrades, a tailor for accessories, and a tavern where you can accept side quests. Raid battles happen periodically where waves of monsters attack your camp and you need to set up defenses and fight them off. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom follows Evan, a young king who's overthrown in a coup and must build his own kingdom from scratch while gathering allies to reclaim his throne and unite the world. The game mixes action RPG combat with kingdom building and large-scale army battles. Real-time combat has you controlling one character while AI companions help out, and you can dodge roll, block, and use melee combos along with ranged magic attacks. The Higgledies system gives you elemental creatures that follow you in battle and can be commanded to cast support spells or attack enemies when you gather enough of them together. Kingdom building is a major part where you construct facilities in your new nation of Evermore, build weapon shops to unlock better gear, research centers to learn new abilities, and homes for citizens who provide bonuses. You recruit citizens by completing side quests across the world, and each has skills that make them better suited for specific facility types. The skirmish battles play like simplified real-time strategy, where you command units of soldiers against enemy armies, using rock, paper, scissors, unit advantages, and special abilities to win. The overworld has you traveling between kingdoms, each with its own ruler and problems you need to solve. Persona 5 Royal has you playing as a high school student who gains the power to enter the metaverse, a cognitive world where people's distorted desires manifest as palaces you can infiltrate with your group of phantom thieves. You balance daily life, attending school, working part-time jobs, and building relationships with a dungeon-crawling RPG where you fight shadows using personas, manifestations of your inner self with different abilities. The turn-based combat revolves around exploiting enemy weaknesses with physical attacks and elemental spells to knock them down. And if you knock down all enemies, you trigger an all-out attack for massive damage. The protagonist is special because he can use multiple personas that you capture after battles like Pokémon, and you can fuse them together to create stronger personas with better skill combinations. Time management is crucial since you have a limited calendar to complete palaces before deadlines, while also improving your social stats like knowledge and charm, which unlock new activities and relationship options. Confidant relationships with your party members and other characters provide gameplay benefits like new abilities, more money from battles, or unlocking advanced persona fusions.
It's been a while since we last, but this time
Persona! Go down!
Dragon Quest XI's follows a young man who discovers he's the reincarnation of an ancient hero called the Luminary, marked by a special symbol on his hand. But instead of being celebrated, he's branded a demon and must flee his homeland. You'll gather a party of memorable characters, including a thief, a mage, and a knight, as you travel across the world to fulfill an ancient prophecy and stop the Dark Lord Mordegon from plunging the world into darkness. The turn-based combat is classic JRPG, where each character has their own skill trees you unlock with points earned from leveling. Eric can learn knife skills and boomerang attacks. Veronica specializes in offensive magic, and Serena focuses on healing. The pep system builds up during battles and lets characters enter a powered-up state where they can use special combo attacks with other pepped party members for devastating effects. You can freely switch between party members in combat, and some battles require specific setups to counter enemy abilities. The world exploration includes riding monsters you've defeated, finding mini-medals for rare rewards, and discovering hidden areas with unique enemies and treasures.
Fight and fight some more! Phew.
Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles bundles two masterpiece tactical RPGs set in the politically complex world of Ivalice. The first game follows Ramza Biyulv, a noble who gets caught in a war between kingdoms that's manipulated by a corrupt church hiding an ancient demonic conspiracy. And the story deals with heavy themes of class warfare, religious corruption, and how history is written by victors. The tactical combat takes place on grid-based battlefields with height and directional facing affecting accuracy and damage. Attacking from behind or higher ground gives advantages, and you need to consider terrain when positioning your units. The job system is incredibly deep with over 20 classes like Knight, Black Mage, Dragoon, and Ninja, each with their own abilities you permanently learn by accumulating JP from battles. You can mix and match abilities from different jobs, equip a Black Mage with Knight abilities for a tanky spellcaster, or give a monk white magic for self-healing. Character growth depends entirely on which jobs you level, and you can recruit generic units to build your perfect team.
Leave that to me.
And that's our top 20 best JRPGs on Nintendo Switch for 2025. Whether you want deep tactical battles, fast action combat, or traditional turn-based systems, the Switch has something for every JRPG fan. What's your favorite JRPG on the Switch? Did I miss any games you think deserved a spot? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're all playing. If you enjoyed this countdown, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.